What the fuck is up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tony's Corner, a Great Girth segment. I'm your host, Tony, and today we're throwing it back to 1996 for a wild ride with Bulletproof, the action comedy buddy flick starring Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. This movie is a time capsule of 90s success. Big laughs, big explosions, and some seriously big plot holes. Buckle up, because we're about to unpack why Bulletproof is equal parts guilty pleasure and a chaotic fucking mess. Let's get into it. Sound effect. Just kidding, we don't do that bullshit here. Anyways, thanks guys for joining me. Now, what is Bulletproof? For those of you who haven't seen it, or maybe you need a refresher, Bulletproof is a 1996 action comedy directed by Ernest Dickerson, a guy known for gritty stuff like Juice, but also for dipping his toes in lighter fare. The movie follows Rock Keats, played by Mr. Damon Wayans himself, Major Payne, brother, and an undercover cop posing as a criminal to infiltrate a drug operation run by the slimy Colton, played by Mr. James Caan. Rock's buddy in crime is Moses, played by Adam Sandler, a low-level crook who's more loyal than he is bright. When their cover gets blown, bullets fly and friendships are tested, and the two end up on a road trip from hell, dodging goons and cracking jokes. It's Lethal Weapon meets Dumb and Dumber with a sprinkle of 90s cheese in there. This film is a fascinating beast. It's got a 7% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, 7%, but somehow it's got a cult following. Why is that? Because it's a blast, man, even if it's a hot mess. Today, we're gonna break down why Bulletproof is fun, dude, and a silly romp rather than some serious cinematic masterpiece. And hey, that's okay. Let's start with the good stuff. Then we'll get into the not so good shit, and we'll wrap up with why this movie still holds a special place in my heart. Let's talk about why Bulletproof is so damn fun. First off, the chemistry between Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler is pure gold. This was peak 90s. Sandler was pre Big Daddy, pre Punch Drunk Love, when he was still the goofy, yelling manchild from Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. His character, Moses, he's a lovable doofus who's always one step away from disaster. Now, Wayans, on the other hand, he is that cool, smooth-talking straight man, delivering that deadpan zinger like he's just channeling his inner In Living Color days. Their dynamic is the heart of the movie. When they're bickering in a stolen car or dodging bullets in a seedy motel, you can't help but laugh. Take the scene, for instance, where Moses tries to fix a bullet wound with a bottle of whiskey and a lighter. Sandler's screaming, but Wayans is rolling his eyes, and it's like watching two brothers love each other, but also want to strangle the fuck out of each other. It's chaotic for sure, it's over the top, and it's fun. The movie leans hard into buddy comedy, just tropes, dude, and that's where it shines, in my opinion. These two are mismatched in the best way. Like peanut butter and fucking jelly if the jelly was slightly unhinged. What a weird, metaphor, right? Now then there's the action. Oh man, dude. The action in Bulletproof is so 90s that it hurts. We've got car chases with explosions that make no sense, shootouts where nobody reloads, and a climax involving a plane that's straight out of a cartoon. The stunts are ridiculous, but they're staged with this infectious energy, dude. Ernest Dickerson knows how to keep things moving, and the pacing is relentless. You're never more than 5 minutes away from something blowing up or someone yelling a one-liner. It's not trying to be Die Hard. It's trying to be a Saturday night popcorn flick, and it nails that vibe very well. The humor is another big win, dude. This movie is just packed with quotable lines, especially from Sandler, the man himself. It's peak Sandler, peak Sandler absurdity. The script written by Joe Gayton and Lewis Collick, isn't winning any Oscars, obviously, but it knows exactly what it is, a vehicle for two comedians to riff off of each other while stuff explodes. And then Adam Sandler doing his iconic, yeah! And let's not forget the soundtrack, dude. The 90s were the golden age of movie soundtracks, and Bulletproof delivers with a mix of hip-hop and R&B that screams mid-90s cool. You've got tracks like The Two of Us by R. Kelly, ooh, and a funky score by Elmer Bernstein that keeps the energy high. Or Bernstein, I hope I said that right. The music makes you want to turn the volume up and pretend you're in a car chase. You know what I mean? It reminds you of the 90s. So why is Bulletproof fun instead of serious? Because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's not trying to be a gritty drama or a profound character study. It's more a movie where a guy gets shot in the butt and makes a joke about it. It's a movie where the bad guy's plan is so convoluted it barely makes any fucking sense, but you don't care because the next joke is already landing. And yes, it's a popcorn flick through and through. I mean, that's the biggest strength if you ask me. Shit. Now, let's get real. Bulletproof is not a perfect movie. In fact, it's kind of a mess. Let's break down the flaws, right? Because even as like a fan, I can't ignore them. First, the plot is all over the place. The story starts with Rock and Moses as partners in crime, dude. But when Rock's cover's blown, dude, that's when the movie pivots to like a more road trip, then a conspiracy involving dirty cops, then a romance subplot, and finally a showdown with James Caan's drug lord. It's like the writers threw every action movie trope into a blender and just went. The pacing is fast too, dude. Like, the story's just incoherent, but the pacing is fast. Why is Colton so obsessed with catching these two? How does the FBI get involved? Like, what's with the random side characters who show up and disappear? It's a narrative pinata and nobody's fucking swinging, dude. Not hard enough to make sense of it anyway. I can't fucking, like, never mind. Then there's the tonal whiplash. I'm glad I'm bringing this up. The movie wants to be a comedy, but it's also tries to have like these serious moments, like when Rock and Moses have a heart-to-heart about betrayal. That feels completely out of place. 1 minute Sandler's making fart jokes, the next Wayans is brooding about like his dangerous job. Complaining, I should say. Pick a line, Bulletproof. The serious moments don't land because the movie's too busy being goofy, and that clash, it undermines the tone a lot. The supporting cast is another weak spot, dude. James Caan is great, dude. He's a legend, and he's sleazy in this, dude. He is good, but he's also scary. He's also underdeveloped. Now, Kristen Wilson's character, Tracy, is supposed to be a love interest, but she's more of a plot device than a person. The other villains, like Bill Nunn's Dirty Cop, are pretty much forgettable. The movie lives and dies on Wayans and Sandler's back. And when they're not on screen, it does drag. And let's talk about the production value, okay? Bulletproof had a $25 million budget, which was like decent for 1996. But some of the effects look fucking cheap. The explosions are cool, but the green screen work in the plane scene is rough, even by 90s standards. Finally, the humor doesn't always land. Some of the jokes are dated if you're a pussy. There's a lot of 90s machoism and a few like moments that are going to be so offensive to you whiny folks out there. It's definitely a product of its time, simpler times. If you're not nostalgic for 90s comedy and some of the gags, that might fall flat on for you anyway. With all those flaws though, why do I love Bulletproof? Well, it's all about nostalgia and vibe, really. This movie came out in 1996, dude, a time when action comedies were everywhere. You had like Bad Boys, Rock, Rush Hour all on the horizon. Bulletproof fits right into that era. And movies didn't need to be perfect, they just needed to be entertaining. And this one is entertaining. For me, Bulletproof is like a Saturday afternoon classic. It's the kind of movie you'd catch on cable, probably on TNT, streaming mostly. And you'd watch it all the way through, even if you're like, not tuned in. But even if it's like halfway and you're just like, it's comfort food cinema. It's greasy. It's not exactly good for you, but it's satisfying. Wayans and Sandler's like chemistry, dude, it just carries it. And the 90s aesthetics, like the baggy clothes, the flip phones and all that, it's like a warm hug from my fucking childhood, dude. For some of you, you're teenagers. It's also a reminder of how like versatile both leads were at the time. Wayans was fresh off Major Payne, dude. And in Living Color, of course, proving he could do like physical comedy and cool guy swagger. Sandler was still building his brand as that goofy everyman, and you can see the seeds of this, like especially in more of his like nuanced roles. They're having fun, dude. And that energy is infectious to you, the viewer. Let's circle back to the fun versus serious question. Bulletproof could have tried to be a serious action movie. Yes, it's got the bones for it, an undercover cop, a drug lord, betrayal, but it wisely leans into comedy. The serious moments like Rock's moral dilemma or Moses' backstory, they just feel tacked on because the movie's heart is in the laughs. It's not trying to make you think, it's more trying to make you smile and make you laugh. And for 84 minutes, it mostly succeeds. Compared to something like Lethal Weapon, that series balances humor and drama, but it's got a tighter script and deeper characters. Bulletproof doesn't have that ambition. It's more like Nothing to Lose or Money Talks. Movies that, they're silly and they embrace it. And that's okay. Not every film needs to be profound. sometimes you just want to watch two guys yell at each other while like dodging bullets and shit. You know what I mean? At least that's me personally. Is Bulletproof worth watching? So, I mean, should you watch it? If you love 90s action comedies, absolutely. It's a time machine, dude, to a simpler era of filmmaking, when movies could be messy and still be a good time. If you're looking for like a polished, coherent story, dude, maybe skip. This is not Heat. It's not even Rush Hour. But if you're in the mood for something loud, dumb, and fun, Bulletproof does deliver. My final rating, if you don't know my rating system by now, I have 5 tiers. So basically, the lowest tier is the first one. That is, this movie sucks dick. The second tier would be, where can I get the last 2 hours of my life back? The third tier is, worth checking out on streaming. The fourth tier is, must see, like right now. And now the fifth tier, the last tier, that one's like, this movie will go down in history as legendary. Where I'm going to rate this one, Bulletproof, as much as I love it, it loses points for like the fucked up plot and just a lot of different issues. But it's nostalgic for sure. I love it. It's a big part of my childhood. I will say that because of that, I can be fair and be honest with you and say that I'm rating this film as a worth checking out on streaming, which means like 3.5 stars essentially. It's not a bad flick. I'm telling you right now, even if you're someone that like, maybe you're not into like, maybe you are like Gen Z or you're someone young, you know, and like you're not into like a lot of older folks humor, try this one out for size. See how it makes you feel. But Bulletproof, what'd you guys think? Comment below, let me know. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like this, you can find us everywhere, whether it's Rumble, YouTube, Spotify. We're everywhere, man. And in terms of socials, we're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. If you want to get our attention, for sure, TikTok and Instagram. And if you're more into politics and you want to hear a more spicier version of me, I guess, then definitely check me out on the Great Girth Podcast. I am Tony, and thank you for listening. I will see you guys on the next episode of Tony's Corner, a Great Girth segment. Oh, and always, folks, remember, stay rad.